too much.
예. 그거 이용해서 오늘 밖에 있어가지고 밖에 빛이 익숙해지고 하시고 went to go visit your brother.
예. 뭐예요?
그냥 쉬고 있어.
그렇겠죠.
What you been doing lately?
뭐냐. 뭐지? 뭐 따로 했나? 운동이나 했죠.
At least you're doing something.
할 게 끝도 없네요. 근데 재밌는 거 하셨어요 이번 주에?
너무 바빴어.
그런가요? 바쁜 건
좋은 거지.
그렇죠. 근데 그걸 좋게 말하면 좋은 거지. 사실은 싫잖아요 바쁜 거.
Yeah, you know, it's good work. Good work. 동생 친구가 결혼하는데,
네? 동생 친구가
so I gotta do the wedding.
예.
So 이제 나는 when I do that, I have to do counseling,
예.
Christian counseling before they get married and stuff.
그래요?
원래 그래 이렇게 크리스천들이 이렇게 결혼하면 그거 하는 사람 있잖아 앞에서 하는 목사들 그분들이 이제 they do counseling. 이분은 이제 진짜 크리스천 blessing 받을 수 있는 분들이지.
그런 게 있어요?
야 결혼도 이제 이렇게 화목하게 잘 살 수 있게 이렇게 questioning하고
축복이에요.
그리고 이제 어떨 때는 너무 결혼식 할 때도 바쁘니까 알아야 될 걸 모르는 때가 많아.
그래요.
뭐 결혼을 했는데 알아보니까 허스밴드가 스쿨 론이 막 $10,000, $100,000 있고 막 그래. 결혼한 다음에 알고 그래. 그러면 결혼하기 전에 파이낸스도 이렇게 카운슬링하고 그리고 페renting이 무슨 뜻인지 또 이렇게 베이비 교육도 하고
그냥
다
어떻게 보면
커버해야지.
그냥 그거네 뭐라고 하냐 그냥 뭔가 교육을 시켜주는 느낌이에요.
It is. It's like so that you live a happy life without, finding out things that later and all that stuff. So it's basic stuff, very basic stuff. 근데 basic stuff도 사람들을 무시할 때가 많아.
그렇죠.
그래서 커버하는 거지.
그럼 바빠지겠네요. 그걸 했다는 거구나 이번 주에.
그냥 시작하지.
네,
그런 거
수고하세요.
준비한다고.
솔직히 그게 재밌게 안 보이네요.
나한테는 재미없지. 스트레스 받지. 왜냐면 거짓말하는 게 보일 때가 있어.
거짓말이요?
응.
뭐가?
So let's say 나는 이분을 알잖아. 막.
그래.
20년 동안 안 살았네.
그래요.
근데 얘기하고 있는데 like, tell your husband, something that you went through that was really hard in your life. 근데 나는 알아, 얘가 뭐 힘들었던 거 그리고 진짜 안 좋았던 일들. 20년 나갔으니까.
그래요.
근데 남편 앞에서 nothing. I lived a normal life. 그러면 나는 I'm like, why are you lying? 얘는 또 왜 피곤하겠고요? 뭐 항상 이렇지 뭐. 아니 근데 오늘 조금 피곤해. 진짜 네 말대로 라이딩이 그런 거.
그럴걸요.
뭐라고?
비.
네.
좀 다르다고. 다른 느낌 들어서 들을 때요.
I mean, I do have all the lights on. Maybe that's the reason.
그래요? 원래는 아닌가?
원래 여기 사이드는 안 켜.
그게 어차피 밖이 밝으니까.
But it's fun in a way as well. 이제 우리 summer retreat도 준비하고 있고.
그런가요?
응? 지금 아직 아무도 안 왔어. 오늘 다니 아침에 일어났는데 he had a fever. So tracing도 안 왔어 또. 오늘 저희밖에 없어. 에이
설마 사람 잡는다는 말이 있잖아요.
저희밖에 없어요. 그냥
근데 그래도 딱히
그냥 가서 밥 먹을까?
그래도 아니 그냥
한 몇 달 전에 like when I first started here 진짜로 야구 나오고 15분 동안 혼자 있던 데서
왜요?
야 이제 한 10분 지나게 얘가 이사님 우리 그냥 밥 먹으러 야 이사님 5분만 기다리고 아무도 안 가자.
진짜 갔어요 그래서?
아니 근데 5분 있으니까 누가 왔어. I forgot who somebody started. 야야야. 근데 얘는 행복했었어. 입이 이렇게 올라가는 거야. 오늘은 와.
뭐 주상이 형 오나?
응.
안녕하세요.
As soon as he said their day, he's like, she's at the right here.
Any preference on songs? Or?
저한테 물어보는 거 딱히 상관은
We could
없어요.
do some classics today.
맞추고. For YouTube.
At least one classic.
How many songs?
Let's just do two. Because I think YouTube songs are
Like-
past 5. All of them.
They can be long.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's just do two.
How have you been? Classic songs. What was that one? I don't remember. Are you still playing Epic 7?
Huh?
Still playing Epic 7?
뭐 알아?
I used to play. And then I didn't get any 5 stars, and I was like, I hate this game, and I quit. My luck was too trash.
야. 이게
That
무슨 게임이야?
no. It's a Christian artist too.
But I'm gonna search your stuff.
Is this the new Bethesda game?
해본 적이 없어.
Starfield. Oh my gosh, I'm completely blanking. What was it?
Starfield. I think it's like Space Wars.
Bless you.
How old is this song?
Oh, this video is 11 years old.
The Rock has elevation. What's the difference? Oh,
No, the group name is
Yeah.
Elevation. I was gonna ask him if that was classic enough.
I guess you could have an argument.
Oh, why is it so low quality?
You say?
Huh?
How do you even make it like that low quality?
Right, like I didn't even know they still had it in that. Like, my gosh.
It's also 1 year. It was like 50 years ago. Sure.
Rate enough, classic enough, or more classic?
That's fun.
Okay. Then second one, I was thinking Graves into Gardens. This one's a little
Higher
newer.
quality.
Yeah.
Is this
No,
the live?
it's at least
version?
1080.
That's the highest.
This one's a little too quiet.
If you search, there should be more.
Yeah, but I wanted one that wasn't like 7-8 minutes long.
Oh. 5 would be perfect.
Yeah. There was one in like 4 minutes, but that was
It's also
only streaming at
quiet.
240. I see. I don't know why they're all so low.
There we go. 720.
720 is not bad.
Huh? Is this loud enough?
We can always change it.
Can I sit here? Oh.
I think Danny's able to hear us. He's like, yeah, at least 10 8. Right?
How did he? What is
I switched the input because last week the volume was low.
Yeah.
So I switched the kind of input for the audio. So
Okay.
maybe there's something here. That's
Yeah, because last time eventually the praise song was loud enough, but then when you were for your the sermon part, it was like
It's all right.
yeah.
So because I was able to like monitor up to that point, and then when I'm up there, I can't monitor. So
And I figured it's like I could have texted you because it's like you're up there,
Yeah.
so I was just like, but like, I could hear you. It was just like all the like static and stuff was like overpowering what you were saying.
this input, I could literally hear myself walking towards the point.
Oh, okay.
So it catches all the noise.
Okay.
So I think someone has to control this one.
키우면 되잖아.
Oh, you're using the
Just turn it
core
on.
input? Oh,
Which one was that? I'll check.
EQ하면 되지 않아?
I think it's for the whole. I don't know. No, I don't know. This is too much for me. This is what I do, and if this doesn't fix it, I don't know what to do. Oh yes. Yeah. I don't know. I can't turn it off.
The select. Select because 이거 한번 만져봐. 끝나고. 괜찮아. 나.
How do you think we haven't done it yet?
몰라서 그런 거 귀찮아서.
Yes.
한 시간에 15불 주면 할 수 있는 거야? 역시 귀찮으면 보드를 사게 되잖아. I like that we're honest.
Yeah. If nothing else, that we can promise that.
거짓말해서 얻을 게 없잖아. 그럼 뭐야? 얘는 뭔지도 모르겠다.
Oh, congratulations!
Wait, 이게 왜 또 달라?
Really? School ends this early? I remember school ending like around the 20s.
Oh, what the heck?
이거 이제 필요 없잖아.
Which one? The rest of them?
Or some of it.
Uh,
Do you put basically?
sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. Did I just close it? I hate Mac.
Set this whole entire thing and do it from
I think I closed it.
history. 너무 있지 않을까?
I'm an idiot. See, I don't know why this is not. There it is. Oops.
소리가 안 들어.
I don't understand how New York State.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
아, 그럼 다시. 그럼 GPA just stays? What? Did you hear
What? Yeah.
what they do in New York State?
What?
So if you score between 50 and 65, they eliminate that grade in your report.
As what? Like just pass?
예, 아 그냥 없어요. 그냥
Oh,
그레이드에 안 들어가는 거 그냥.
do you get credit? Like you pass the class,
예,
but you don't have to do it. You just-
I don't think you do that.
I should have.
내가 쓸 때는
없었어.
이번 년
아, 이번 년. 이거 만.
이번 년
Just this year.
네, 그런 거.
아, okay.
이번 년 새로 도입. 어떻게
Wait, starting now or just now?
몰라. 그냥
해보는
많이
거겠지.
걸려온다.
Because like what about the kids that have all grades between 50 and 65? Do they just not have a GPA?
They just didn't.
I think
Right?
take it.
Like, you,
Wow.
so, yeah. What if that automatically puts you at 4.0? That's like such a cheat.
I should have studied in New York
Yeah,
State.
51 and everything, and then you're stuck.
Wow, New York State.
하나만 하는 거 아닐까?
But it's just your school, right? It's like I'm sure it's
Maybe the
right. I don't think it's not like a state rule, right? I don't think
우리
it's probably
학교는
just a
몰랐어요.
school.
It's
Yeah.
the first time I ever heard of it.
아 근데 regions
All
다전 스테이지 다
리전스만이야?
regions만 그렇게 나와.
Oh, so it's not a class. It's just
regions만.
So you pass
I was like,
that.
region. 그럼 it's too unfair to the rest of the nation. You know, like, oh man, I'm gonna get a D. Let me just totally fail my whole entire thing. So I redo this test. Wow.
하나만 잘해도 그럼.
그러니까.
난 그래도 내가 더 좋다고 생각해.
나안 해도 돼서.
저보다 할 필요가 없어.
It's a unicorn year.
아무도 안 해도 돼서 대학에서 아예 보지도 않고.
그럼 SAT를 안 받는 거야.
아
Anyway, let's start.
인수는 봐.
Yeah.
SAT 없어도 되잖아.
근데 어차피 안 가시는
나도 안 갈 것 같아.
always go.
Yeah.
I have the phrase songs. Oh,
He's not feeling well. He had a tough weekend. He had like 3 weddings or something, so he's really busy. Might have just been over. Hopefully, he's just been overworked.
30일 날인데 우리 장로님도 그 저기 뭐야 그거를 갈 줄 안다고 하니까 그냥 빼러리만 사오면 되거든요. 근데 영사님이 그 빼러리 보고 뭔지만 해결하고 해서 모두 아마존에서
아르동 언제까지 좀
형 오늘 저기에서 노래 부르는 거야?
No.
So you're doing this.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to, but it's just. I mean, we just have to do the songs. After that,
He has a bass on.
yeah. So he does everything. So we just have to go from now to 2 songs and then go back to PowerPoint. Like, we'll do it.
많이 편해졌다.
Yeah.
예전에 누가 처음부터 끝까지 막 누르지 않았어.
Yeah. I mean, we have to do it when we do the songs and phrase. I think. I don't think I feel like Lacey's been doing it.
I don't know. I was there.
Yeah.
사람들도 저번에
He's looking for Danny because he was supposed to like change the church fan battery. Yeah. But
Is the battery officially dead?
I think it's been, so they've been charging it, but it just keeps on going. So I think I just go buy it. I changed it once, so I don't think it's that hard.
Is it worth getting the battery and changing it? Not just.
I think someone's borrowing the battery next week. think that's what they do.
All right. I mean, it's
Because I'm never gonna drive that.
yeah, it's up to them if they want to do it.
That van looks scary.
It is. It was scary like 10 years ago when we were using it, and it's I can't imagine it's gotten any better. Since then.
얼마나 오래됐어?
It was there since I was in elementary. I think. Yeah, it's older than some of our youth kids then probably.
It needs
Oh,
to be
maybe.
higher. That thing needs to be higher.
Yeah, because I remember like when you go into like you had to hold on to it because if not, it would like kind of.
That's one of those.
So it's like you have to like.
I drove one of those. I drove that to Six Flags one time. By the time I got to Six Flags, I was like, guys, you guys go.
Yeah, you're
I'm done.
just
I need to
exhausted. Yeah, yeah.
It was so tiring.
정신력이 딸려.
진짜 팔이 힘이 it feels like I did like upper body training for like 5 hours. 너무 무거워. 진짜 무거워.
Especially when it's filled with kids. Yeah,
Really old style van.
for sure.
Like, but they don't have to drive a van for so many years because everybody just drives. At least here in Jersey, everybody drives. I don't have to like. As soon as you become a senior, everybody has at least a small car. So I got very lucky. Very fortunate.
Yeah. When I was in youth group, my grade was like the oldest for a long time. So we had no cars until our year finally became juniors and stuff.
I think the furthest person is like from my house to this house, 40 something. That's the furthest that I ever drove.
Probably.
But from church, it's pretty decent. 20, 25, right? About.
Yeah, because it's right off the
Yeah.
parkway.
So, but when I go home after dropping my mom, it's like 45 minutes. So I still have the pray song in the PowerPoint, so just skip it once.
No, yeah.
귀찮다.
They might have food. What have you been doing at home? So what have you been doing?
Oh, just trying to be better at making music. And I did go to gym.
From the 24-hour? You still sign up for that?
Oh no, Ritual Fitness. And then I got my permit.
Oh. Aren't you hungry when you go into retro? It reminds me of McDonald's every time I walk in, and it's like, oh, McDonald's? All the yellow and red.
I didn't
No.
think about it. No,
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
they do have like the whole entire bar, so they can make like
The protein shakes, yeah.
I saw like once somebody buying. I was like, okay.
You can technically work for it because it's like, at least the retro I have, you get points every time you go to the gym.
Yeah.
And then it's like, but it's like 75 points or something like that for a
Yeah.
smoothie. And it's like, I'm not going to the gym 75 times for one smoothie.
You get 1 point.
Yeah, or something like that. Something stupid like that.
No, we don't do that. I don't think so. They didn't expect anything like that.
Oh yeah, no, they don't explain to you at all. I think there's the app. I think there's the retro app. Yeah, I haven't actually. 안녕하세요. How are you?
두 사람 다 어떠셔?
이제 조금씩 괜찮게. 네. 누나는 저번 주부터 이번 주부터 일을 가기 시작했어요. I think Wednesday.
살 빠졌다.
네, 노력하고 있어요.
오늘 여기도 안 나오는데?
데니도 오늘
못 와?
네. 하고 이제 11시 땡 되는데.
아, 진짜?
안녕하세요. 레트로 앱이 있었어. 근데 레트로 앱 있어도 안 살 것 같은데.
Yeah, I mean, I had it, but I was like, go to the gym, so I wasn't gonna get any points. I was like, I'm just gonna go to the gym.
네, 생각해보면 돈을 냈으니까 가게 되긴 돼.
Dude, that's what I thought. But now I just spent $30 a month to not go to the gym.
free economic
Yeah.
exchange.
But I don't want to cancel it because last time I canceled it and I re-signed up, it went up like 50%. Because it was like $20 a month, and then I canceled it for the COVID, and then when I re-signed up, it's like 30 something.
It's 30.
No, it was 60.
Retro?
Yeah, everything's so expensive.
I don't know how much you pay. It's like 60 or 80 for stream. I mean, it's becoming so much break. So it's gonna be
다 비싸지고 있어.
It was the retro one. And then there's like rewards. I don't use any of this.
just use rewards.
It's hard being
There's a competition.
Yeah, I think you can like set like, oh, I want to go to the gym like 3 times a week, and then like you log and it'll tell you like you did it or not or whatever.
요즘에 많이 하고 있는 거 코로나 때 여행 갈 거.
I kind of wish I did.
I didn't want to be that too with people.
근데 생각을 해봐야 될 게 different corona the season. It's cheap to go, but when you get there, there's nothing to do because nothing is open.
That's why
Unless
I
you go
went
to
to
Hawaii.
yeah. I went to Iceland and it's like everything's outdoors. What are they gonna do? Close the glacier? So it's like
I mean,
My friend she's a nurse, so she already had to go. And her husband is a doctor too, so he already had to go too. They're like, well, we both had it. Let's go to Hawaii. I paid $90 for a ticket.
90?
They went.
That's
So
crazy.
180 for both, right? And they went. Nobody's there. Loved it. The beach empty.
That's amazing.
Hotel price cheap. Only thing that was expensive is it was food. That's okay.
That's
Who
gonna be
cares?
expensive anyway.
Who cares?
Why?
Like, there's
Once you start traveling, then you'll understand. Because it's like until you travel, then it's like I can see this from my computer. It's the same thing, right? But once you go, it's like it's different. It's
the
different.
water just looks and like the sound, it just makes you feel very peaceful.
I don't like water because I can't swim. But even when I go to the beach, it's always just really
It's like
nice.
just laying down, just having watermelons and just enjoying the nature. It's peaceful.
Yeah.
I don't like getting into work. Just sitting there is peaceful. And then when there's so many people, it's not.
No, yeah, then it's
Yeah,
disgusting.
it's just different.
I just
And the
They like
website
pictures.
pictures.
아니 형이 있었나?
Day we went to the beach together.
Yeah.
With the summer. Yeah. Oh,
You gotta
There's no footsteps.
yeah. 'Cause
It's a really nice.
no people.
Yeah. As soon as I say footstep, I lose all my motivation right there. So when I get there, when people walk around, in like 2 minutes, if we get a lot, there's like the whole dance of footsteps. I was like, no, I moved. Yeah. It's too big. Many people. 핸드폰 갖고 왔어?
Huh?
핸드폰 갖고
I've had this for like 4 years.
Okay, so you did.
Probably not.
What's in your bag?
I need a new one because I broke it.
My phone was too expensive to change. So
Is that iPhone?
Samsung.
Is that the 22?
20. I forgot. That's 20 minutes.
That's crazy. I don't know why they skipped 10 through 19. Because this is the 9. And I don't think they went straight to 20.
I know there's 19.
There is?
Yeah. I think there is 72, but I never heard 11 before. Wait, maybe. Maybe they did
How
it.
are you, everyone?
gonna be using old email. Well,
I've been using my same email since fifth grade.
good.
Gossip.
Well, church, let us prepare our hearts for worship at this moment. Whatever has happened throughout the week, whatever has been hindering your mind at this moment, let's put it down before God and just focus upon Him, draw near to Him so that we can hear what He has to say to us. Let us pray for Him and I'll pray. To the call to worship first. And today's call to worship comes from Psalm chapter 5, verses 7 through 8, where it says, "But I, with the abundance of your steadfast love, will enter your house. I will bow down towards your holy temple with fear. Lead me, O Lord, in your righteousness, because of my enemies. Make sure way straight before me. Lord, I pray this morning, Lord, that we are a bunch of people that wants to draw near to you, God. That we're a bunch of people, Lord, that comes into your house, understands who we are in front of, that we're able to give you our reverence, we're able to give you the honor that you deserve. Lord, as we go into a time of listening to your praises, Lord, I pray those lyrics will touch our hearts, and Lord, I pray this moment means something to us, and that Lord, when we go into your word, God, that you speak to us, that it means something to us, that we learn something. Be with us today, Lord. I pray this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. This morning, our brother Danny woke up not feeling well, and just to be safe, he was staying at home. Today, we'll be going to another set of YouTube, but I really hope that we're able to just listen, see the lyrics, and find meaning in those things as well. Because there's so many ways to worship, and there's just one. So at this moment, let's just focus on the lyrics. Let those lyrics speak to us, have meaning towards us, and worship our God. You saw every day far away from here. How does it mean to me to Lord Jesus, carry us, my master, is how we come. You were reigning, bring out the light, every sacrifice. You were reigning. Search our hearts and purify. We need your perfect love, we need your discipline. And our flesh to guide us where your light. Lord Jesus, come lead us. We're desperate for yours. Open and mighty love, this all we can. You will Just like this moment, we just want to give you thanks, Lord. And Lord, would you be with our brother Daniel as he recovers from his fever, Lord? I pray, Lord, that it's nothing serious, Lord. And I pray at this moment, Lord, as we go into your word today, that speaks to us, he teaches us, and motives us, God. Be with us, Lord. And I pray this in your name, Jesus Christ. Amen. A few announcements before we go into the word. Today we're going to start signing off for our summer retreat. That's the location we're going to. It's called Stephen. It's a resort area, so it's kind of expensive. You know what I mean? So I think starting July, we'll start having to do some fundraisers at the church to support people who might need some support one year. I think it starts around $350, right? So it's a pretty expensive place to go. But you go there, it feels like a hotel, everything provided there. There's a place you can go play golf, you can go swimming, anything you could just do. That's all. And I'm gonna try to get the regular package for everybody. And I think they give out, if you want to go spa or if you want to book in on the side, you can just pay for I don't have to like make different packages and all that stuff. Right? So we will have a sign-up-sheet on my laptop. So after the service, please sign up. And I have 2 days available, and the reason why is because I want to try to pick the day where it's better for our church. You know, so just put both if both is fine, or if the last week of July or the first week of August is better for you, put those two. And then we'll decide by this week which date. And also for the people who's online, who's not here today, I'll post it on Excel and I'll send out the Excel throughout the emails. So please sign up on those things as well. And the theme will be for our spirituality. So the way that you connect with God is very different from the person who's sitting next to you. Okay? So you might connect God in the wilderness. Like you see their nature and you're like, wow, God is awesome. And some people find God in music. Some people find God in the church, like the aesthetics of the church, that holiness of the church. You know? So when we go there, we're going to try to discover how do we connect with God. Like if you feel like, you know what, I'm at church, I don't really feel something. But when I go to the campsite, I feel God. You know? Like that's what we want to do. And because it's such a relaxed place, I think it's a good place to kind of explore that. And so we will be signing up today for that. And also our adult group will be meeting again on Zoom Tuesday at 8 p.m. If you would like to join us, just let me know. I'll be sending out the links. Also, let's pray for the offering that we have. Michelle, at this moment, God, I just want to thank you. Again, you gave us these gifts, these talents. And Lord, I pray at this moment we give you our best. But Lord, that we don't give you leftovers of what we have. And Lord, that when we give it to you, it's something that's meaningful. And I pray this in the Amen. And today's word comes from Genesis chapter 18, 1 through 3. I'm going to skip reading up to Genesis 1 through 3 because we're going to be reading it within the same time. And I want to go into this topic of drawing near to that. C.S. Lewis, he once said this. He said, put first things first, and we get second things thrown in. But put second things first, and we lose both first and the second things. We never get even the sensual pleasure of food at its best when we are being food. What C.S. Lewis was kind of saying here is basically what Jesus says to his people. Like Jesus will say to his people, first think about the kingdom of God, and everything else will follow. You know, think about God's kingdom, and everything will follow. That's what Jesus would teach to his disciples all the time. And that's exactly what C.S. Lewis is saying. Put first things first, and the second thing will naturally come second. You know? But a lot of times that become very hard. The world is like in your face so much. Man. So a lot of times looking past the world and into the kingdom, the goodness of the kingdom, and what the kingdom offers becomes so hard to focus. You know? But Jesus is saying, look at the kingdom first. But you turn on TV, you go to the theaters, and everything that's about the world is just advertised into your face. You turn on social media, the world is just speaking at you, yelling at you. But the world is screaming, focus upon you. The reason why I love the story of Abraham early on in the book of Genesis is because we see this guy, Abraham, who's not perfect in any measure. He always falls, he always sins, he lies, but yet God calls him up. For some reason, God comes to him, hangs out with him. And I think that's what I love about this story. Like, Abraham gives us a format. Like, yeah, you are corrupt, you're sinful, you fall all the time, you fail all the time, but you know what? Here's a way you can join me. You know, you don't have to be perfect. And I love that part about Abraham's story. Like his story is, I'm a total failure in terms of many things in my life, but you know what? I still truly need God. And he gives us this kind of formula. In chapter 18, it's a very interesting story where Abraham is greeting 3 visitors that came to his camp. Okay? I don't know if these 3 people came, knocks on Abraham's tent. And Abraham answers, and he sees these 3 individuals. Like, there was no appointment or whatever, he just saw these 3 individuals. And there's some theologians out there, and there's some pastors out there that would say these 3 individuals are God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. Like, if you know the context of the Bible, that's not what it is. When you read the context of the Bible, what you will understand is one of them is God, and 2 others are angels. My reasoning for that is very simple. When we go ahead of the story a little bit, in verse 22, it says, so the men turned from there and went towards Sodom. But Abraham still stood before him. Okay? So 3 people came visiting Abraham, right? So 1 stayed with Abraham, and 2 of them went to Sodom. And when you read the story of Sodom, we know that 2 angels went there to investigate how bad Sodom was. So we know for a fact 2 of them are angels. And Abraham said, I stood with the Lord. So one of them remained with Abraham, meaning one of them is God. Right? So God came to Abraham, and 2 angels came to Abraham to visit Abraham this morning. Now let's focus on why did Jesus come visit Abraham this morning. The Bible says Abraham was a friend of God 3 times. It says it in 2 Chronicles, it says it in James 2, and it says it in Isaiah 4. Now we could stop right here and say the reason why Abraham was able to draw near to God because he's a friend of God, right? But when you read John 15, Jesus says this about us, that we are his friend as well, right? So this simple man, Abraham, was able to draw near to God with some sort of formula, with some sort of a way. And when we look at his life, I believe we could find a way to kind of understand how we as sinful people can draw near to God. You know? And it might not work for you, but this is a formula that we have to give to us. First, I think we have to see that God, as a friend, he can be a little bit annoying as a friend. The reason why I say that is because God is very spontaneous. He's very spontaneous. Like, he doesn't come at you he doesn't text you saying, hey, let's meet up at 12 p.m. at Chipotle. Like, he doesn't make an appointment with you. He just suddenly appears and says, hey man, let's hang out. You know? Abraham was in his tent. The Bible tells us it was basically at noon, when the sun is at its highest. The reason why I bring that up is because during this time, in Abraham's time, when the sun is at the highest, people just kind of rested. No one came knocking at your door. It was culture, it was tradition where everybody just kind of rested. No one's supposed to come at that time. So Abraham wasn't expecting God to come at this time, But God, he came knocking at Abraham's door at this particular time when no one was expected to come. God is very spontaneous. And what we have to learn from Abraham's example here is this, that we have to be flexible. That God will come at you, right? He'll knock at your door, and he'll be like, hey, can I speak to you? And to us, it's going to be very spontaneous, Say, God, can you make an appointment with me? I'm kind of busy today. The thing about God is we need to be flexible. The reason why I say that is this, because to us, it sounds very spontaneous, right? Like God just appearing and he's saying, hey, I need a time, I need some time. But in God's eyes, he had this plan. Like you're living out your life and you're about to take the wrong turn in your life. That's when God comes. He said, I need to speak to you. You're about to make a mistake. Or God comes and he's like, I need to bless you at this moment in your life so you're protected wherever you go, so that when these people come at you, you are guarded, right? So he's going to come at you, and to you, it's going to be very spontaneous. But to God, it is planned. That's something we have to understand. And that's the reason why we have to be flexible as Christians. So when God comes knocking at your door, you have to be ready. You have to be able to open the door and be like, hey, you're here. Welcome. We have to be flexible. This is, again, In passage verse 1. And the Lord appeared to him by the oak of Mamre, and as he sat at the door of the tent in the heat of the day. This is when God came. When no one traditionally supposed to come. Spontaneously, the Lord came. The reason why this is here is because there are times, like when you get on the phone, right? Like if someone called you 2 in the morning, right? And this is somebody you met 2 weeks ago, you're gonna be annoyed at this person. Like how dare you call me at 2 in the morning? But let's say your brother called you 2 in the morning, your mother called you 2 in the morning. You want to pick up the phone as fast as possible. Why? Because you might think they might not have heard in the hospital. And you're not annoyed, right? And that's how we have to see God. Okay? When God comes knocking at the door, don't treat him as somebody you met 2 weeks ago. Like you want to call God a friend, then at least treat him like how you would treat your mother who calls you 2 in the morning, or a friend, your best friend who calls you 2 in the morning. I mean, that's how we have to treat God. A lot of times we don't even treat God that way. And we wonder how come I can't feel God. You know? We have to understand who he is. And we want a divine friend in our lives. There's certain ways we gotta treat him. You know? And secondly, we need to be humble. We need to have this humility. If you want to be a friend with God, who draws near. There's a second part. There's a second verse. He lifted up his eyes, looked, and behold, 3 men were standing in front of him. When he saw that, he ran from his tent door to meet them and bowed himself to the earth. The word bow here is very important. This word comes up about 100 times in the New Testament. The Hebrew word, when you kind of translate properly into English, it's not just like Abraham bowed down, but like you know how for us Koreans, right? During New Year, we bow down to our parents, right? To get some money, like New Year's money for our grandparents. It's not that kind of thing. It's more about, so you would kneel first, right, in the ancient time, and you would slowly bow your heads to the ground. So it's not even a fast bow. You have to like slowly bow. That was the culture. That was the tradition. So when it says here that Abraham bowed down, that's how he bowed down. Imagine a 99-year-old man, right, slowly kneeling down and putting his forehead to the ground. That's what's happening. So actually what's happening here is Abraham was worshiping God. Abraham at this moment is 99 years old. He has 318 paid servants. He is the most respected person in his community, but he did not care for his status. He just said, I know who you are, and you deserve my worship. Like this is basically the president of our country bowing down to somebody. That's how we have to view it. Like, no matter your status in life, we have to remember who God is. And that's what he wanted. He remembered who God is. Somebody who deserves his respect, someone who deserves his glory, someone who needs to be revered. I don't know, just try to imagine a 99-year-old man talking about that. Can you imagine that? You know what I mean? We have to be humble in our lives. The word Lord here, when you translate it, is the Almighty. This is somebody who's the strong one, the one who's Almighty, the strong one. When you literally translate it, it says Adonai. This is Almighty. That's what he calls. That's what Abraham calls. When you read on this guy named Axis, this is a very famous author. There are many books that are written. He said, you don't impress officials at NASA with paper airplanes. You don't boast about your crayon sketches in the presence of this hospital. You don't claim to be equality with Einstein because you know to write. You can't write H2O. And you don't boast about your own goodness in the presence of the perfect. That's something that we have to understand. No matter how great you get from God, he's still the mighty one. He's still the Lord. And we have to understand that. And we have to be humble. In order to come here to understand who we are, understand who he is. That's what we have to do. And when you look at verses 3 to 5, it says this. It said, O Lord, if I found favor in your sight, do not pass by your servant. But let a little water be brought and wash your feet, and rest yourself under the tree, while I bring a meat of bread, that you may refresh yourself, and after you may pass on, since you have come to your servant. But they said, do as you do as you said. So Abraham hurried, it says. This 99-year-old man hurried to serve God. You can imagine 99-year-old man that would have came trying to be hurrying to prepare some food. He goes to Sarah, who's resting in the tent. Remember, that's the custom of the time. He goes in and he tells Sarah, who's also 30-year-old, we need to hurry. God's here. We need to prepare. Let's go get our best cow, slaughter it, prepare it for them. You know? Remember, he has 318 paid servants. He could have clapped his hands and said, you know what? This is the most honored guest. Let's get him some meal, guys. Let's do this. No. But he himself felt this is so important. I need to make sure that he is good. So he serves God with his own things. He picks out the best cow. And he doesn't give one that's really old about to die. No. He said God deserves the best. So he gets the cow, he gets the butter, he gets the milk, and he serves it to God. Yeah, he got the servants to help him, but he made sure his hand was working. That's good. Like you want to draw near to God. That's a concept we have to understand. Like when you come to church, and there are times where the church will, hey, you young folks, move some sofas for us. Right? And then we're thinking, oh, it's just a sofa. But we end up moving like 50 chairs and all that stuff. Right? But that's what church is all about. Like you want to feel that family kind of atmosphere. Like your grandfather came and you want to serve because you respect it. That's kind of the feeling. Like you want a hand in this service. Like, grandfather, this is what I did for us. We need to have that serving mentality. The serving mentality. A lot of times we get burned out at church. Like you've been serving at church 10 years, 20 years, or whatever, you kind of burned out. You're like, I can't do this anymore. The reason why a lot of people burn out, okay, is because you're serving people and you're not serving God. Like you come to church, and instead of serving God, you come there thinking, I'm going to serve this people that come to church. And that's how we burn out. And COVID first said, so many pastors burned out, including me. Reason was very simple. COVID hit, we had no idea what to do. All pastors were panicking. And we were like, okay, we gotta make sure that people don't leave the church, we gotta make sure things are being done, and we forgot about God. Honestly. Because we gotta save the church. That's what pastors were thinking. No one trained pastors to do church during the pandemic and stuff. So a lot of people burned out. It's because we serve something that's not God. You were serving people, you're serving the church, the pastor, whatever. And that's an easy way to right now. When you stop serving God, you start serving other things, such as people. And he wanted to give his best. Right? Like he went to his church, got the best kind. And the thing that bugged me so many times is that I've been a pastor for all these years. And sometimes, let's say you have a vacuum at home, and your vacuum is not as strong as it used to be. So you got a new vacuum. So what do you do with the old vacuum? You say this to yourself, you know what? I'm going to do the church some service. I'm going to donate that to the church. The one that's not strong, the one that you have used, the one that's about to break. And you say to yourself, wow, I did it. I've seen that kind of thing. That's not serving. You're treating God as if he's worthy of just your love. And Abraham was like, no, it's not us. I want to give you the best. David, there was a time where he wanted to build a temple for God. So he's looking throughout his land, like which part of land is the best. That's what he was doing. He found it. He said, wow, this is the land that is worthy of worshiping God. Right? So he goes to the landowner and he said, hey, I'm about to build a temple for God. can you give this land to me? I'll pay you whatever. Right? And this guy, he looks at David, he's like, oh, you're King David. Just take it. I know why you want this land. I know that you want to go to the temple of God. Pay. Like, you don't have to pay. Right? And David's like, no, I'm going to pay this. How much is this? And they go, you know how when you go for a meal and you fight to pay for the bill sometimes, right? That kind of thing is occurring. Like David's like, no, let me pay for it. He's like, no, I got this. And this is what David says towards the end of that conversation. He says, I will never sacrifice your word from which cost me nothing. That's what he says. I'm not going to give God something that doesn't hurt me. That's what he says. I'm not going to give God something that's not going to make me feel it. You know, in Korea, I used to have 3 dogs. And you know how you feed like dogs back in the day in Korea? Whatever leftover is in your dinner table, that was the food for your dog. You know? Let's say there's no leftover that way. The dog just went hungry. That's how it was. You know? There was no place you go back in the day to get dog food and stuff. There was no such thing as that. Whatever was left over on your plate, that's what you give to the dog. David was saying, I'm not going to treat my God as my dog. I'm going to give him my very best. The first thing off my top, he's going to give to God. That's what he was declaring to this woman. I'm going to give God my very best. So take my money, because I want to build my temple, the temple of my God, on this part of land with my money that I have. Abraham, because God gave him generously, the promise. God's like, I'm going to give you a son. And your sons are going to be, like your descendants, you'll be so many that you won't be able to count. And God was keeping up with his promise. So Abraham was keeping up with that contract. You gave me the best, so I'll give you the best. That was his mentality. And actually, if you want to draw near to God, you want to be able to conform to his will. Part of being in this divine friendship is understanding the will of God and saying, I know that you want good things in my life. So even though I don't understand why I have to go through this, I will conform to you. That's something that Abraham understood. That's something we have to understand. This is Jesus saying in John chapter 15, you are my friends if you do what I command you to do. And that doesn't sound very 2022 friendly, But we have to understand. When he says friend, it's not just a friend, it's a divine friendship. And there's a difference between friendship and divine friendship. We have to understand that. We can't treat God just how we treat our friends. We gotta treat God as a divine friend. And there's a difference in that. The difference is this: I know you want the best. I know you want to have good things planned out for me. So even though at this moment it's hurting me a little bit, following your will, I know that you have good things planned out for me. I trust you. That's what it means to conform to his will. Not that you are just slave to his will. That's very different in Christianity. The reason why we follow is because we believe we have a God that is good and he's going to lead me to good places. We have to understand that. We have to understand that. That's a very big difference in Christianity with thought and other religious thoughts. Simply follow. No. We follow because we believe he is good and he's going to keep his promises. Just like how Abraham followed because God kept his promises to Christians. This is verse 16. Then the men set out from there. They looked down towards Sodom, and Abraham went with them to set them on their way. So Abraham is showing God out from his camp. That he doesn't need to, but he wants to be polite. So he's showing God out. And from this point on, it's a story about Sodom, the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. I think everybody knows the story. Sodom becomes become infamous with perversion. It becomes infamous with how they treated the poor, the needy. From this point on, it's that story about how God went to his home. 17:18. He, Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham what I'm about to do? Seeing that Abraham shall surely become great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. Now these verses sound a little bit weird because God's like talking to himself. But it kind of makes sense in verse 19. For I have chosen him that he may command his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing righteousness and justice, that the Lord may bring to Abraham what he has promised. Here is Abraham, and God says, this is the man that's going to bless the world. And the context of it is, it's not Abraham that's going to bless the world. It's going to be his son that's going to bless the world, our Lord Jesus Christ. From the bloodline of Abraham, we know our Lord Jesus Christ come. I think that's what God places in this chapter. God said, I know you're not just going to influence the world, but you need to be a man that influences your children. That's what he's telling me. God's revealed to Abraham that you need to make sure you're engaged in the family, the development of your children. Make them understand that you have a God that's going to be spontaneous. Make them understand that you have to have children that's going to be humble, that's serving, that follows the will of God. Like, that has to be taught in your family. If you don't, they will never be able to draw near you. If you don't, I'll never be able to speak with them the way that I spoke with you. And I'll never have a relationship the way that I have with you. So Abraham is telling him this woman, understand why I drew near to you. Understand why we are friends. Abraham, make sure you are in charge of your family. Make sure they understand who I am and how they can draw near to me. This is verse 20 to 22. Then the Lord said, because the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great and their sin is very great, I will go down to see whether they have done altogether according to the outcry that has come to me. And if not, I will know. So the men turned from there and went towards Sodom. But Abraham still stood with the Lord. Now here's the question. If God says there is an outcry against Sodom, who's doing the outcry? Right? Now who's the one saying, oh, this Sodom is so bad? Like who's doing that? This is Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 8, 48 to 50 says, As I live, declares the Lord God, your sister Sodom and her daughters have not done as you and your daughters have done. Behold, this is the guilt of your sister Sodom. She and her daughters have pride, access to food, and pauper's ease, but did not aid the poor and the needy. They were husky and did abomination before me, so I removed them when I saw them. Okay? So this is a report that God got, this outcry from the people who were needy, people who were starving. They were pointing at Sodom and saying, this city has all the needs, all the things that they have, they could help us. They're not. They're rich, they have all the food that they need and more, but they're not helping. They're unfair, they're unrighteous. And to be honest, before the time of Jesus, God had that limit of mercy and grace. So he saw Sodom, and Sodom, he kind of burned everything to ashes, and he would have been in the means of his just behavior. Why? Because they were evil. They were sinful. And you gotta wonder for a moment, why did God put this in the Bible? Like, why didn't God just destroy Sodom and get it over? And I think he did that for us. So no one can say, like, God, you're so evil. How can you destroy us? The reason why he sent 2 angels to investigate is because of us. He wanted to record in history, look, this is why I'm a God of justice. And I saw how evil they are. I investigated the scenes. I know it for sure, but I want you to know I investigated. That these people are evil, that these people were sinful, that these people didn't care for the rest of the world. That's why God judgment. But here's the interesting thing about this story. Abraham tries to be a lawyer. Because his cousin does. So this is verse 23 to verse 23 to verse 26 says, then Abraham drew near and said, will you indeed sweep away the righteousness with the wicked? Suppose there are 50 righteous within the city. Will you then sweep away the place and spare not the 50 righteous who are in it? So basically, this passage all about Abraham, like, God, you are a God of justice, right? Like, it's not fair you want to kill off all these people if there's 50 people there. That's not right, right? And God's like, you know what, Abraham, you're right. If there's people who are righteous there, 50 righteous people, I shouldn't. You're right. So I'll send my people and investigate. You know, if there's 50 righteous person. And everyone's like, whoa, did that work? You know, he didn't think it would work. So he goes to God again and said, God, what if there's 40 people here that's righteous? Or at least not sinful, maybe decent. You know? And God's like, you're right. I'll be a God that's not of righteousness and justice if I don't spare the city. There's at least 40. And everyone's like, well, I'll work again. Let me push harder. So he says, what if there's 30? Right? And God's like, yeah, if there's 30, I'll spare the city. What if there's 20, God? Right? And God's like, yeah, I'll spare the city. I won't be a God of justice if I don't spare the city. And he's like, what about if there's 10? Right? And God's like, yeah, if there's 10, I'll spare the city. But interestingly enough, Abraham stops at 10. He doesn't go to 1. Like you would think, like, maybe I could push God a little more. What if there's just one righteous person? One decent person? But he doesn't ask that. And the reason why I believe he stopped asking is because he understood every single person in Sodom was sinful. And in God's eyes, they needed to be touched. And here's a lesson for us. Abraham, this person who was a friend of God, couldn't find the answer to why people should be saved. He couldn't find the answer. The reason why he couldn't find the answer was because the answer was not Jesus. In order to be saved in God's judgment, all that we need in our life is our Lord Jesus Christ. So even before God and Jesus Christ, Abraham understood at this moment the reason why they couldn't be saved is because there's no human way to save them. You could be called the best friend of God. It didn't matter. God's like, there's nobody who's worthy of something. But God was merciful towards Abraham and saved Lot and his family. Abraham risked his life, in my opinion, to plead for his unrighteousness. But in order to save humanity, Jesus had to really put his life on the line. And he did it to save us. And I pray we look upon Jesus and be thankful to him. You know? Like when he looks at us, right, this United States of America, wouldn't he see something? This nation, like even though we're going through recession, no one's going hungry. Really, if God was here in America, he was like, that's something. Well, why are we living such a blessed life? It's because he looked upon Jesus and said, they're righteous. They're good. So I pray today that you guys, whenever we have time to pray, we have to give a prayer, please. And Lord, thank you. Thank you for being my Savior, my friend. Thank you. That's right. Just like this moment, Lord, I just want to thank you, God. That you're a friend that comes knocking. That you're a friend that waits at the door for us to open the door. You don't force your way in. You can knock and you wait. I pray this moment we are a church that hears God knock every single day and gladly opens the door for you, gladly welcomes you, gladly dines with you, gladly communicates with you. Because we understand what you have done for us. Be with us, Lord, as we spend another week at your Son and others. Be with us in our weak times. Be with us in our joyful times. Now, Lord, the reason why we feel like be with us. Thank you, Lord, for being our Father and friend and Creator. I pray this in your Son, Jesus Christ. We lift up prayer that our Lord just prays upon us. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you, guys.
I'm gonna close out of the stream. Close out.
Is this side?